Ever wonder why some people step off a 14-hour flight looking like they just left a spa, while the rest of us stumble into the terminal looking like we've been through something? It's not luck, it's not genetics, it's a system, and most travelers never learn it. Today, we're fixing that. Here's the thing nobody tells you about jet lag. The fight doesn't start when the wheels leave the ground. It starts the moment you wake up that morning. Wake up early, like unreasonably early. Skip the lazy breakfast. Cut the caffeine at least 8 hours before you want to be unconscious. Caffeine has a half-life of roughly 5 to 6 hours, which means a 2 o'clock coffee is still working on you at 10. And then this is the part people skip. Move your body. Hard. A real workout, followed by a long walk. You want your body physically tired before you even see the airport. Then there's the destination. Block your first day. Nothing. No tours, no dinner reservations, no plans. Just walking, sunshine, and water. That buffer day is the difference between bouncing back and burning out. The airline already sold you every upgrade it could before you boarded. From the moment those doors close, your comfort is entirely your own problem. The battle starts at home. Most people let the airline pick their seat and then spend 12 hours wondering why they're miserable. Don't be most people. Window or aisle. Pick one. Never the middle. That's not a seat. It's a punishment. Bulkhead row. Legroom varies more than people think. On some narrow-body aircraft, it's no better than a standard row. What is guaranteed is the trade-off. There's no seat in front of you, so there's nowhere to put a bag. Everything goes in the overhead for takeoff and landing. Exit row, extra space. Usually around 36 inches of pitch, roughly 10 more than standard economy. And on some airlines, you'll board earlier, though not for the reason people assume. On United's window middle aisle boarding order, exit row seats board with Group 3, alongside the window seats. On Delta and American, early boarding comes bundled into the extra legroom fare. It's something you paid for, not something the exit row grants you. Here's a hack for couples. On a wide body with 3 seats across the middle section, book the 2 end seats. A solo traveler who ends up in the middle won't climb over you to get out. They'll use the other aisle. You just bought yourself space. Note that this only works on a 3 across middle. On a 343 wide body, booking both ends still leaves 2 middle seats, and one of those passengers is climbing over somebody no matter what. And before any of this, take 5 minutes. Find your aircraft type. Your airline's own booking page will show it, and FlightAware will confirm it. Just know that equipment gets swapped, sometimes hours before departure, so check again the day before you fly. Then pull up the seat map. Aerolopa has the most precise cabin diagrams. Seatmap.app is the closest thing to a modern replacement for what Seat Guru used to do. And a quick note, if you're following older advice, Seat Guru is gone. TripAdvisor shut it down on October 31st, 2025, and the site now redirects to TripAdvisor's homepage. Its seat maps had already gone stale years earlier. Why bother? Some seats have no window, some don't recline, and on certain rows, the overhead bin space is reduced because the airline stowed equipment up there. 5 minutes of research changes 14 hours of your life. The security line is the first place the system breaks you. Standing there, shoes off, liquids out, watching the clock tick toward boarding, while someone ahead of you argues about a snow globe. It doesn't have to be you. A growing number of airports now let you reserve a spot in the general screening line, some of them completely free. Seattle-Tacoma has C-Spot Saver. It's free, it works for any airline, and you can book up to 5 days ahead or the same day at the terminal. You get a QR code, you show up in your window, and you walk into a dedicated lane. It runs from 4 in the morning to 10 at night. Toronto has YYZ Express, also free. You reserve online up to 72 hours out, and you present your QR code at the checkpoint within 15 minutes of your slot. Not every program works the same way, though. Lisbon's Fast Track, for example, runs around 9 to 10 euros, but it isn't a timed reservation. It's a paid priority lane at security only. It won't help you at check-in or bag drop. So know which one you're buying. How to find yours. Google your airport name plus security reservation or express security line. That's it. 20 minutes saved on a bad morning isn't just convenience. It's 20 minutes of stress your body doesn't carry onto the plane. You've stepped onto the plane. Depending on your boarding group, you've got somewhere between 10 minutes and half an hour before those doors close. Use it. Most people collapse into their seat and hope for the best. Hope is not a strategy at 35,000 feet. First, stow your passport. Not at your seat. Not while blocking the aisle. In the jetway, before you step on. Done. Second, Sanitize. That tray table you're about to eat off? A 2015 study by TravelMath swabbed surfaces across 5 airports and 4 flights, and found tray tables carried roughly 2,000 colony-forming units of bacteria per square inch, about 8 times what they found on the lavatory flush button. Worth knowing, none of the 26 samples tested positive for fecal bacteria like E. coli. It's a small study, not a clinical one, but the ranking still holds. The tray table is the surface nobody wipes down between flights. Armrests, headrest, seatbelt buckle, wipe it all down. Third, zone your bags. Overhead bin is dead storage. You won't touch it again until landing. The bag under the seat in front of you holds everything you need for the next 12 hours. Get this wrong and you'll be that person standing in the aisle, digging through the overhead while everyone glares at you. Damage check. Broken screen, spill on your seat, something that won't recline? Report it now, while there's still time to move you. Once the cabin fills up, there's nowhere left to put you. And once you've landed, a compensation claim for a broken seat is a much harder argument to win. And here's the trap. Do not take melatonin or a sleep aid while you're still at the gate. Do not take it on the jetway. Do not take it before takeoff. Flights get delayed. Planes get swapped. You sedate yourself and then sit on the tarmac for 90 minutes, awake, groggy, and chemically fogged. Nothing until those wheels leave the ground. Everyone packs for the destination. Almost nobody packs for the flight itself. The fix is 2 small bags. Grab one or both. Never dig through your luggage again. Comfort pouch first. Lip balm, hand lotion. Cabin air runs at desert-level humidity, and your skin will feel it before you do. Deodorant, body wipes, a pre-pasted toothbrush you can use right at your seat. Pharmacy basics, pain reliever, antacids, something for your stomach, because your body will betray you at altitude. And when it does, you don't want to be waiting for the drink cart to come back so you can ask for ginger ale. Add a small carabiner clip and hang the whole pouch from your seat back pocket. No bending, no rummaging, everything at your fingertips. Tech pouch second. Earbuds or headphones, non-negotiable. A Bluetooth adapter for the in-flight entertainment system. A slim power bank with a built-in cable so you're not managing a spaghetti pile of cords at your seat. A magnetic phone stand that clamps to your tray table, because when the seat back screen is cracked or frozen, your phone is the backup. It's not personal, it's protocol. The airline doesn't care if you're comfortable. You have to. The single biggest difference between landing refreshed and landing wrecked is whether you slept. And whether you slept comes down to one thing: your head. A head strap travel pillow isn't a pillow. It's a stabilizer. It attaches to the adjustable headrest on your own seat and keeps your head upright. One thing to check before you buy: your seat actually needs adjustable headrest wings. Plenty of domestic narrow-body economy seats don't have them, and the strap has nothing to grip. No bobbing, no snapping awake every 12 minutes, no waking up on a stranger's shoulder. The person in front of you doesn't feel a thing. It takes a few minutes to get used to the sensation, and then you're locked in. Even if this exact style isn't for you, bring something: a donut pillow, a turtle brace. Anything is better than letting your head flop around for 8 hours. And pack a standalone eye mask. A real one. Not because the cabin will be dark, because someone 3 rows up will watch an action movie at full brightness for 90 minutes straight, or your neighbor will refuse to close the window shade. You never know who's sitting near you. Control what you can control. Sitting with your feet flat on the floor for hours isn't just uncomfortable, it's a circulation problem. A foot hammock slips over the metal arms of the tray table on the seat in front of you. Adjustable length works for any height. The person in front usually has no idea you're using it, as long as you're resting, not swinging like you're on a porch. One caveat: some airlines don't allow them, because the tray arms aren't built to carry that load. If a flight attendant asks you to stow it, and you can't use it during takeoff and landing regardless. But for those long middle hours, this is the thing that turns economy into something almost bearable. What you wear on a long-haul flight isn't fashion, it's equipment. Layers are non-negotiable. Cabins swing from hot to freezing and back again, sometimes on the same flight. T-shirt base, hoodie, or sweater over top. You can strip down or bundle up without begging for a blanket that the airline may or may not have. Your hoodie needs deep zippered pockets. Here's why. When you get up for the bathroom, especially if you're traveling solo, your phone, your passport, your wallet, they come with you. Not left at the seat, not tucked under a magazine. With you. Bottom half, whatever keeps you comfortable. Just make sure your pants don't drag. By hour 8, the bathroom floor is wet. You don't want to know with what. Slip-on slides. Pack them. Don't sit in bulky shoes for 12 hours. Keep your socks on. Wash the slides at the hotel. And compression socks. The CDC flags any journey over 4 hours as a blood clot risk, and a review of 12 randomized trials found strong evidence that compression stockings reduce the risk of silent deep vein clots on flights longer than 4 hours. Put them on before you board. Wrestling them on in a cramped airplane airplane seat is a losing battle you don't need to fight. Dress for the flight. The destination can wait. Cabin humidity at cruise altitude typically sits around 10 to 20%. That's drier than the Sahara's daily average. You're dehydrating whether you feel it or not, and by the time you feel it, you're already behind. Drink more water than you think you need. Yes, more bathroom trips, but sitting still for 10 plus hours is worse than getting up. The longer you're immobile, the higher the clot risk climbs. And here's the thing about dehydration. It produces almost exactly the same symptoms as jet lag, headache, fatigue, brain fog. So it stacks on top and makes every one of them feel twice as bad. There's a second problem too. That dry air pulls moisture out of your nose and throat, and those membranes are the first line of defense that traps airborne viruses before they get anywhere. Dry them out, and that defense stops working properly. A square water bottle packs flat in your personal bag. Fill it after security. While you're sitting, trace the alphabet with your feet. Ankles only. It keeps blood moving and reduces swelling. Nobody around you will even notice. Fresh socks before landing. Sounds small, but changing into clean, dry socks as you begin the descent is a psychological reset you can't replicate any other way. Around hour 6, you hit a wall. The fix isn't more screen time. Pre-pasted disposable toothbrushes. No water, no rinsing, no bathroom sink. Brush right at your seat. Body wipes and deodorant. 90 seconds and you feel like a different person. Vapo inhaler if your neighbor didn't shower. Also works as a wake-up tool when your brain is fogged and you still have 4 hours to go. A disposable steam eye mask. It warms up for about 20 minutes. For tired eyes, screen fatigue, and the tension headache that's been building since hour 2. The works. You don't need a shower, you need 90 seconds and the right tools. You've got the gear, the seat, the setup. Now you need the signal that tells your brain, shut down. Option 1, sleep sounds. White noise, rain, nature tracks. Most earbuds have a sleep library built in. Option 2, an audiobook or podcast you've already heard. Not something new, something familiar. No engagement FOMO. Your brain hears the pattern, recognizes it, and disengages. Option 3, a pre-made sleep playlist. Calming music, ASMR, whatever you use at home. Familiarity is the cue. Your brain needs a pattern it recognizes. Random in-flight entertainment keeps you awake. Familiar audio puts you under. It's all about the signal. You walked onto that plane in control, and you walk off it the same way. The system didn't get you this time. If you found this illuminating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, travel smart.
Most people think pilots are the most honest people in the room. And honestly, they probably are. But the airline is a completely different story. Because your pilot isn't just flying the plane, they're following a script, and there are parts of that script passengers are never supposed to find out about. Today we're going through 10 specific things that happen on every single flight, things airlines have quietly trained their crew to keep to themselves. These are real. This is not conspiracy territory. This is just the aviation industry hoping you never look any of this up. Let's go. Let's start with something that catches people off guard at the gate before they even board. You're sitting near your departure gate, your phone is at 12%, and you spot a USB charging port on the seat panel. Perfect timing, right? Not exactly. Public USB ports, both at gates and on seat backs, can be compromised using a technique called juice jacking. You plug in to charge your phone. The port reads your device. Your data moves without a single notification on your screen. You think you're charging your phone. You might be charging someone's Intel file. The fix is simple. Use AC wall outlets only, or carry a charge-only cable that transfers power, but physically cannot transfer data. They're cheap, they're small, and they're worth every penny on travel days. Okay, you've probably heard a version of this one before, but stay with me, because most people only know half the story. Studies show tray tables carry more bacteria per square inch than the lavatory flush button. They get wiped down once a day at most, not between every flight. The last passenger who sat in your seat? They may have eaten on it, sneezed on it, or yes, changed a diaper on it. But here's the part nobody talks about. Even if you wipe the tray surface down, which you should, there is one spot that almost never gets cleaned. The latch. Every single passenger before you press that latch with bare fingertips. It's recessed, it's easy to overlook, and it gets touched hundreds of times per flight. Cleaning crews will wipe the flat surface. The latch? Almost never. So you sanitize the table and completely forget the one thing you touched to open it in the first place. Fix. Use one knuckle or your sleeve to pop the latch open. Then, Sanitize your hands immediately after. 2 seconds. Huge difference on a long haul. This one is going to change how you fly, I promise. The moment that seatbelt sign clicks off, the whole cabin relaxes. People stand up, move around, laptops open. Everything feels fine. But here's what pilots actually know. The highest turbulence risk window is the 20 minutes after the sign goes off, not during takeoff, not during landing. That calm, quiet cruise phase, that's statistically when unexpected turbulence hits hardest. The sign turning off is a legal minimum. It is not a safety clearance. The habit to build? Keep your seatbelt loosely buckled and visible over your clothing even when the sign is off. It costs you nothing, and it is the single easiest thing you can do to protect yourself mid-flight. This one tends to make people angry, and honestly, that reaction is completely fair. Airlines legally sell more seats than exist on every major domestic route. This is not a glitch. This is not a system error. It is a deliberate revenue model built on statistical no-show rates. The airline knows a certain percentage of booked passengers won't show up, so they oversell to make sure every seat is filled. You were always part of that math. They just never told you. What you can do? Check in the moment your window opens. And know you're denied boarding rights. If you are involuntarily bumped in the US, you are entitled to compensation under Department of Transportation rules. The airlines will not volunteer that information at the gate. Now, you know to ask for it. Show of hands, who has genuinely celebrated landing early? Yeah, same. But here's the reality. Since the 1990s, airlines have been quietly padding scheduled flight times by 15 to 30 minutes on most routes. When your flight arrives early, what actually happened is the padding absorbed whatever delay occurred and the numbers lined up. You were not early, they just told you that. Next time, download FlightAware and check real-time block times against what was scheduled. Once you start doing this, you will never look at an early arrival announcement the same way again. Reclining your seat is legal, expected, and completely built into the design. This is not about being polite, it's about timing. Reclining during meal service traps the person behind you with zero usable tray space and zero warning. Their coffee tips. Their tray is pinned. Their $14 airport sandwich is now in their lap. One quick check over your shoulder before you recline costs you nothing. Waiting until meal service clears costs you nothing. But getting it wrong can genuinely ruin someone else's flight and probably their mood for the next 3 hours. Flight attendants will walk the aisle before takeoff and landing and ask you to raise your window shade. Most people just do it, but almost nobody knows why. If something goes wrong during takeoff or landing, emergency responders need to see inside the cabin before opening any doors. They're assessing fire, debris, passenger positioning, all through those windows. Your shade being up gives them the information they need to act faster. It is not about the view, it is about what happens when the view suddenly becomes very, very important. This one is going to make you rethink your in-flight coffee. The coffee, the tea, the hot water for instant noodles, and the water from the lavatory tap. All of it comes from the same onboard water tank. EPA testing has found coliform bacteria in aircraft water systems on routine inspections. Not every plane. Not every time. But enough that this is absolutely worth knowing. The coffee isn't just bad because it's airline coffee. It's partly what's in the water it was made with. Stick to bottled water and canned drinks. Skip the hot beverages entirely. That's the move. Last one. And it's a quick one, but it will stick with you. The flight attendant call button is one of the least cleaned surfaces on the entire plane. Every passenger, every row, every flight reaches for it. Almost nobody thinks about what and who reached for it before them. Use it when you genuinely need to. That's what it's there for. But sanitize your hands immediately after pressing it and stop touching your face until you do. Small habit, big payoff.